Hey guys, so I wanted to go back and I want to talk about leveling up so that you can be the best version of yourself in order to get those really good quality individuals. And I spoke a little bit about this last time. I kind of touched on it when I spoke about dating online and men having certain qualities that women are looking for in order to get those top women that they want, those beautiful women, those glamorous women, what they had to do in order to become the individual that those women will seek after, and vice versa with the women as well. And working on yourself is really important. And when I say working on yourself, that means a confrontation. You have to really get in that mirror, whether it's literal or not, and really look at your past and see where, and be accountable for who you are. A lot of things that have happened to you are not your fault. A lot of your beliefs and values are not yours. They've been indoctrined from birth. And a lot of things that you've experienced have created different triggers, different boundaries that you set, walls you build as soon as you hit a certain situation. I know I've had certain triggers that boom, and I automatically fall back into my old ways of dealing with them. And I'm very aware of all of these different things. A lot of times you guys aren't even aware of that. You wonder why every single friendship you get into, they're disloyal, they're screwing you over. You meet a new partner, they're the same as the last, as the last, as the last, as the last. You have not taken time out to really confront and own those issues and maybe get help. A lot of you need therapy, and if that's what you need to do to really transform into the best version that you could possibly be, so that you are that person who can attract those amazing relationships, that amazing partner, that amazing job, and so on and so forth. You need to do that. You need to do that. And so leveling up is something people talk about, but they just don't want to put in the work. And putting in the work means becoming that person you need to be in order to attain the things that you want to attain. That may mean going back to school. That may mean doing a lot of research. That may mean making some physical changes with yourself. That person who desires to be a college professor just isn't going to jump up and start teaching college. They have to go to college, they have to get that degree, they have to go get their master's, they have to get their PhD. That stuff takes over a decade to do. And within that decade, you have life happening, you have things happening, you have deaths, you have all sorts of things coming at you that may happen that can pull you away from your concentration and going after what you want. But there has to be a level of you wanting to be your best version more than wanting anything in life. Like, I had decided back in what did I write in my journal? I looked at my journal, I think it was from 99 or 2000, that I was never going to be miserable again. I was going to be this happy person who felt really good about myself. Like, I wanted high self-esteem. I decided that back, this is over 20 years ago. And so just making that decision had put me in motion of starting to make little changes. It did not happen overnight. But I wanted to become the person who can sit in front of you right now on the other side of a screen and confidently talk about things and carry myself in a manner in which I am proud of and feel good about. And that would not have happened 20 years ago. Changes happen slowly. Evolution happens slowly. But what you need to do is recognize where your issues are, where your triggers are, what triggers you to fall back and do this, or what triggers you to still hurt yourself or deny yourself of amazing, incredible relationships. So when I spoke about Katy Perry taking some years off of these turbulent situations, and she had to look at herself and say, what the F am I doing? Why am I going for these particular type of individuals? What is it about me that I feel so unworthy or so lacking? You know what I mean? Sometimes you will go for really confident people because you wish you were. You know what I mean? Like, you just want to be in that energy, or you want to be around people who exude power and things like that because you don't have it, you know? And so your quest may be to feel powerful so that you don't even need them. You know what I mean? Like, you feel comfortable amongst them. I never felt powerful. I never felt good enough, even with loser friends that I had. These people were obviously fucking losers. And I still didn't feel like I measured up to them. And so now, 20 years later, I wouldn't even want to sit next to them because I feel like they're under the rug, way beneath me somewhere, like, ugh, don't sit next to me. But I have done the work so that I'm at the point where I could sit next to anyone, no matter what their, oh, you have a degree? So do I. Oh, you've done that? So have I. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to get to that stage. You don't just jump into some fabulous relationship and you look in the mirror and you're an absolute nightmare. So I use her example because she actually took those years off and went to therapy and went traveling, got to know herself, got to really look in that mirror and say, oh, wow, this is what it's like to really this is what it's like to date me. Do you know what I'm saying? This is a trigger. I break down in this area, or I fall back and start doing stupid shit like that. We have to make some changes because this is really what your relationships are going to be like. People are going to look at you and be like, you know, they're in there with you and you're doing these things that aren't necessarily healthy things, right? So these are situations that you have to clean up, and, you know, professionally or however you need to do them, you need to decide, I'm going to take out that time and actually work on being a better version, tweaking that so at the point where I'm really comfortable. You know what I'm saying? At the point that I'm really, really comfortable. Now, I remember, and I think I touched upon this before briefly, there was someone who came into my life and they were nice, and we hung out a few times. So we planned to hang out a third time, and they just completely brushed me off. And then they came back a couple of days later and was like, hey, like nothing ever happened. Now, I could have fallen back into just cutting them off completely, right? No words, nothing, right? But I decided we're going to do something a little different. We're going to go outside my comfort zone, because my comfort zone is to just get rid of you. Done. I feel comfortable. I said, we're going to go outside my comfort zone. And I said, oh no, this is what we're going to do. I said, we had planned to hang out and you just brushed me off, but I'm going to teach you a lesson here, because my value is so much higher than that. So much higher than that. I'm not interested in ever hanging out with you again. Because if I do, I will be training you how to treat me like trash, which I'm nowhere near. You know what I'm saying? So I had a very nice confrontational, verbally confrontational little thing with this individual. And then I cut them off. And I was like, okay. I said, that felt a little bit strange, but I'm okay with it. Like, it's not so far like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like I'm afraid to do that any other way, but I'm a very nonverbal person. I just like to show you, but I had decided in that instance, no, you know what? They work on verbal. Watch what I do. Because either way I win, I'm still going to do what I do naturally, which is get rid of you. But I'm going to talk to you about who you're not going to do that to, who you're not going to do that to. And so that's just kind of like an example of baby step of making a shift. Do you see what I'm saying? Making a shift of working on not automatically just going to what's comfortable for me. What's comfortable, which is straight to the cutoff. Straight to the cutoff. I actually decided to tell him, no, we're not doing that. And I felt like, how dare you even try? Like, do you know what? Like, do you, like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think, like, my old self would have been like, okay, let's hang out. Because back then, I didn't feel like deserving enough to even have that respect. Now, I'm like, are you really? Wait, who? You know what I mean? Like, looking over my shoulder trying to figure out who you're talking to. It couldn't possibly be the girl who's done blah, 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 X, Y, and Z and all this stuff. You couldn't possibly be trying that with me, but they did. And I also spoke about becoming the person who can attract what you would consider, dime pieces or higher level, whether you're male or female, whoever you consider that, wow, I want a man who can take care of me and do this, who has this and that. But are you that type of woman who is ready for that situation? Because they have demands. Rich men have demands. A regular old girl off the street is not going to be dating a billionaire. They have demands, of course. You think they woke up with those billions? No. Oh no. There were lots of things that they had to do in order to get in that position. And once they're in that position, they have demands. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel, having done so much inner work for years. I'm like, oh no, I have demands. I have demands. And so becoming the person to attract those other or whatever you want is very necessary. It's necessary. It's necessary to do that. And how do you go about doing that? Step by step. Step by step. You guys, you want to attract those fly, beautiful women? Look at yourself. Would a fly, beautiful woman who spends countless hours on herself, countless, right? Hair, makeup, body, all that shit takes time. I know. I get up every single day and work out. I don't leave my home unless I meditate, talk to myself, and exercise. And I've shown you my fridge. I don't bullshit around. I don't eat animal products. I don't eat dairy. I haven't in almost a decade. I'm very consistent. I'm strategic. I don't even hang out with people who engage in certain behaviors. You know what I'm saying? Who don't have a certain level of health. I won't hang out with them. So having done all that, having gotten to a certain level, and I'm still getting to other levels, I have certain standards. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to date any old Joe who's obese, who doesn't care about his health, who's sloppy, who would never, and I spoke about this before too, and a lot of you got upset. Oh my gosh, I wear sweatpants. Okay, well, wear sweatpants. I'm not dating you though. I'm not dating you. I'm not dating you. For sure, I'm not dating you. For sure. You're not my type. So wear sweatpants. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you wear. You're not intimate with me. That's not happening with me. That's not happening with me. I need a certain level of self-care. Someone who cares enough about themselves. Like, it's so natural to look good. It's so natural to look good that they just come out like, oh, I'm hanging out with Malika. And they show up and they're beautiful. They smell nice and their skin is soft. And you know what I'm saying? Like the same way that I would hang out with you. I wouldn't just show up like, ooh, damn, you know? It's like, that's how I feel about you. I just show up, you know? A lot of people have an issue with that. They want to attain all these things, but they want to skip all those steps. And no one skips all those steps. Some people just make it look easy. Oh, how did you get that 24-inch waist? Oh, you know, chasing my dog around. No, bullshit. You're a lie. There's no way. There's no way that happened like that. Things happen behind the scenes. Do you know what I'm saying? And then people show up. Oh my gosh, woo, what have you been doing? How do you get so glowy? How does that happen? That's years of a certain type of lifestyle. It's years worth of a certain type of strategic lifestyle, to the point where I feel good enough to demand that someone be in a certain margin, okay? And not feel any ways about it, like, oh, why should I expect that? Like, what? I spoke about making different changes and becoming. And I'm going to continue to talk about this because I think this is something that a lot of people just don't get. They think that it means like putting on makeup or covering up. I'm stripped down. You guys know I never wear it. I never wear it. And I feel more comfortable without, I don't even own any makeup, but I feel more comfortable with you seeing who I am. But not just like as some type of, like I'm trying to make some statement, like this is who I am and I like my features and I like my skin and I take care of myself. So it's not about covering up, like pretending to be, you know, oh, let me dress in a suit and then I can get that girl. Like she can tell that you're not the rich guy. Do you know what I'm saying? The rich guy doesn't even have to wear a suit, you know, he just is, you know what I'm saying? A woman can tell when that's you anyway. Just like a man can tell when a woman is putting on some type of front. You know, she got some wig on and she's like, you know, borrowed some clothes and come on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he knows that's not authentic. She hasn't put in the work and now she wants someone to pay her rent and take her out to eat all the time, pay for her hair, nails, and all the stupid shit. No. The girls who got that guy are the ones who can already pay for their own shit. And that's what they naturally do. With him or without him, their ass is going to look good regardless. They're going to look good regardless. I just wanted to go back on that because I thought it was important for you guys to understand that there is a process. There's a process. There's a long, deep process that happens behind the scenes that some of you, I don't know if it's painful for you to get there. You know what I'm saying? If it's painful for you to be like, I want to be that girl. I want to be that one who has the great husband, the beautiful home, the nice kids, a poppin' career. She looks good. She's all in shape. That shit just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. But are you willing to get up at 6 a.m. every day to exercise and go buy a bunch of kale and vegetables and juice? And in 2 days, you'll be finished. You'll be like, I'm not doing that shit. I'm going to get a bacon, egg, and cheese, right? You know, that's what you're going to do. That's what most people do. I see them. They're like, Or they go, oh, I'm doing this 30-day challenge. What fucking challenge? This is my life we're talking about. I don't have a challenge. I don't do challenges. I do life changes, which take work. And you get over those growing pains. They're like, oh my gosh, what is this shit? What's happening? You know, you get through all that. And then the person behind you is looking like, well, I want to be like that. Oh, really? You want to be, but you don't want to do what it takes to get here. You don't want to do what it takes to get here. And that's the issue. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, and all that fabulous stuff. And I'll see you in my next video.